Tell me about Deuce and Domino. They were what, Cliff Compton and Jimmy Snuka Jr.?
Yes. Yeah, they're great. I owe them everything. Cliff was not signed at the time, but he had been there long enough that he was in the contracted class. Jimmy had been signed and he'd been there for quite a bit, you know, doing Do Shade and other things like that. So I'd known Jimmy from, you know, down here in ECPW, and he actually started the same time that I did, but he would always train with his dad. And so I knew of him. We all did the indies with him and together and things like that. So I already knew him, which was great. I didn't know Cliff, but I had been to the shows enough to know his gimmick. He was doing Dice Domino, like an Andrew Dice Clay kind of comedian. And Cliff is hysterical in person. Like, he just has such a personality and just a sense of humor. It's so funny. They had been working on this greaser's gimmick, which I wasn't aware of. But when Cliff had thought about wanting to do adding a girl, but they really wanted a girl on the old school roller skates, they looked around the school, and this is what they tell me. They looked around the school and, you know, there were so many girls there, but like Jimmy knew me and knew my work ethic and worked with me. So he had recommended, you know, me for it. And they didn't know what she was going to look like other than they wanted her on skates. They didn't know what her name was. It was throwing together. We want her on old school roller skates. We don't know what her name is. We don't know what she looks like. Like, you just figure it out. And I was like, oh my God, like, what do I do? So they really came up with the whole gimmick. I literally had a week to get it together. So that was on a Wednesday. The office was coming down to evaluate the contracted class on it that Tuesday. So they didn't want to tell anybody like we were putting me together with them, but they were going to present themselves, but nobody knew that I was going to be added to their group. So we literally had a week to get it together. So I rushed around and I found the skates, and then I just went to the mall and I'm like, what does she look like? What do I look like? I just kind of try to put together what I thought she would be. And we were kicking around names. So we thought Sandy from Grease or Cherry from The Outsiders. And Cherry was very wrestling related. So we're like, Cherry's so much better, you know? And then I hadn't roller skated in forever as a kid. So I had tried practicing as much as I could. So I don't know if you've seen the Davis Arena, but of course, Deuce and Domino are on the freaking other side, right? So I roll out and it's concrete floor. So I roll out and everybody's just standing around chatting, like nothing really started yet, but they're chatting, and I roll out and it goes to like, at least I heard dead silence, and they're all like watching me roll through the arena. And I run and I'm rolling to Jimmy and I'm like, stop me, because I couldn't stop myself on the skates. It was so funny.
How did you get your job?
So that same day, so we're doing the presentations. We're doing matches. I'm doing the managing, and it was matches on the fly. They're doing, you know, they're explaining a lot of stuff and asking a lot of questions. And so a lot to present because everybody had been working on gimmicks. So they end with, or we're coming up at the end of the day where they're doing promos. So we all get online and Johnny Ace goes up to Cliff and goes, I want you and your group next. Cause we were like way in the back of the line. So I was like, oh my God. And after Johnny has this spiel, he goes, Jimmy, bring your crew in the office. And I was like, oh, what? What's happening? What is happening? So we go in the office and it's just Danny. I don't even think Al was in there yet. It was Danny and Johnny Ace, and it was Jimmy, me, and then Cliff. And Johnny just was like, you know, I love your gimmick. It's great. It's new. It's fresh. It's like, and I want to sign you too. And that was all I heard. I don't know. Oh, other than him going, and I didn't even know you could wrestle because Danny had told him that I was in the wrestling class, you know, and I don't even know if Danny knew how much indie stuff I had done. He just knew that I had been on the indie. So after that, I don't remember what he said. So this was fantastic. So Johnny it was exciting. Like I didn't know, like I was there 4 months that I moved to Kentucky. Happened so fast. And I'm so grateful for that. And then Jimmy's like, you know, nothing's ever set in stone until you get that contract. So don't tell anybody. So Jimmy and Cliff and I leave, and we're just like trying to be like all cool about it or whatever. Cause we're excited. They're excited. Me and Cliff are getting signed. We're excited. The gimmick's great. We love it. So Jimmy's facing me. So he has his back to everybody in the arena, and I'm looking, but I see Inferno, because Inferno's down there, remember? Inferno's literally behind Jimmy, and we're stone faced. We're just talking, we're not letting anybody know what's going on. And I'm like, he's like, just keep it quiet. I go, I understand that, but Inferno is standing right behind you and I can't stand it. And he goes, okay. And then I just stepped out and I was like, oh, and he was like, oh my God. And then we like hugged, and it was just like, we were crying, and then Beth was crying, and, it was just, but again, nothing's set in stone until you get the contract. So it was a whirlwind. I'm so grateful that it happened. I'm lucky that it happened so fast, but then to have Inferno there, and I just was like, I have to like, he helped me so much in this situation, and we just hugged and embraced and cried, and we were so excited, and it was a whirlwind. It's such a whirlwind. So yeah, it was great. And then Danny took me out for drinks and celebration that night.
That's awesome.